Scholars, this is Miss Ashley, and today we are going to be reading out of our history textbooks. We are going to continue our chapter, A Nation Divided. Today's lesson is located on page 80, so please take out your history books, turn to page 80, and follow along. Now let's take a look at the lesson for today. The war continues. Now let's say the title all together. Ready? In three, two, one. The war continues. Now let's take a better look at our lesson. Oh, it looks like there is a history tool here. What kind of history tool do you think this is? Okay, let's say it all together. Ready? In three, two, one. Graph. Yes, this is a graph. So now let's take a look at the title of the graph. Railroads, North versus South. So this graph tells us how many miles of railroads the South had compared to how many miles of railroad the North had. So here on the left side, on the y-axis, we have the number of miles. And down here on the x-axis, we have the south and the north. So let's take a look at this graph. Who had the most miles of railroad? If you said the north, you are correct. The north had about 20,000 miles of railroad, while the south only had 10,000 miles of railroad. Now let's continue our lesson by reading the passage. There were two armies, the Union Army and the Confederate Army. Everyone thought the war would be short. The war lasted a long time. At first, the Confederate Army won many battles. The generals were better. However, there were fewer railroads in the South. The Confederate Army could not get supplies it needed quickly. Tell one fact about the graph. So, scholars, let's go look back at the graph. Tell me one fact about the graph. And that's going to be the end of our lesson. The war continues.